Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to the recording for our lesson on outcome. So this first half is about what the outcome is, what performance standards are you meeting with the outcome, and what are some of those grade descriptors, what do you need to do to pass or to get a great grade for your outcome. The second half of the recording will be detailing how to put your outcome together, what you need to do to actually complete the outcome. Okay, so the outcome is a collection of your key findings or main conclusions in your research. These main points are backed up with examples and evidence that has been shown in your folio. So what you're doing is you're taking all of the examples and the evidence that you have developed in your folio and you're putting them together to answer your question. So this is where you actually answer your question. If you're doing research project A, your word count is 1500 words, or a 10-minute oral presentation, or a combination of the two. If you're doing research project B, your word count is 2000 words, or a 12-minute oral presentation, or a combination of the two. Your outcome can take many forms, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about those forms in the next recording. It could be a written report, so an essay, booklet or article with results, conclusions, recommendations or solutions to a problem or question. That's probably the most common form. It might be a product, so if you are creating a product, maybe you are writing a song, rebuilding something, doing some kind of renovation, creating something, then that it makes up your outcome. So it could be created artifact, manufactured article, work of art or literature. Could be a display or exhibition that you're holding. Could be a multimedia presentation. Could be some kind of performance, could be a combination of any of the above, or it could be any other form that you've negotiated with me. So as long as you negotiate that form with me, then it's a possible option. The majority of the time, if you are, for example, doing a product, then you need to have some written, some kind of a written report alongside that. You'll be assessed on three main components. Synthesis, so making well-constructed arguments in a clear and logical manner. These arguments should also have a conclusion or make recommendations or solutions to problems. A physical object may also be part of your outcome. So the synthesis is where you put together all of the information that you have found and you make arguments on the basis of that information. So you answer your question. So can you build a guitar for less than $200? I don't know. Is the guitar there? That product, is that proof that you can? Do you need to write out some more about how those costs came together, etc.? Substantiation, how well you provide evidence for the arguments put forward in your research. So this is also where you use the research that you found. So in your outcome, you'll be answering your question and you'll be making various arguments in answering your question, and you need to back up those arguments. You need to provide evidence for the things you're saying, and you will use the things that you found for your folio as your evidence. Clarity and coherence. This is how well your outcome reads, including spelling, grammar, and the flow of your work. So this is about how academic your writing is. Let's have a look at these on the performance standards. So you can see here, under synthesis, so when you're doing your outcome, you're meeting S1, S2, and S3. So insightful synthesis of knowledge, skills, and ideas to produce a resolution to the research question. Insightful and thorough substantiation of key findings relevant to the research outcome, and clear and coherent expression of ideas. Those are the three performance standards that you are working towards when you're doing your outcome. Planning and development standards have already been met by doing your your folio. And we've got these here as well. These slides are on Moodle. Insightful synthesis, insightful and thorough substantiation, and clear and coherent expression of ideas. So that's a summary of these different grades. So here you can see them. They've just been taken out and put into this slide. Let's have a look at what an A would look like. So I know some of you are aiming for an A. An outcome that has an A is likely to have these characteristics. Research outcome directly demonstrates or answers the research topic. So you're not talking about anything unrelated in your outcome. You haven't gone off on a tangent. Everything you say addresses your research topic or answers your research question. The synthesis consists of the deliberate bringing together of the most important knowledge, complex ideas, and skills from the research into the research outcome. So you need to ensure that you are bringing together all of that important knowledge, the most important things, and all of the complex ideas and skills that you've learned. Substantiation consists of the identification of key findings from the research and their validation by referenced examples and evidence. So you need to identify the key findings from your research, and you need to identify their validation by referenced examples and evidence. So you need to give examples of these key findings that you found, and you need to back them up with evidence. Expression is fluent, logical, and well suited to the purpose. Meaning is clear, and you acknowledge your sources accurately. Don't forget to use the reference generator on the OSC library website. Let's have a look at, these slides are on Moodle under the pre-lesson outcome presentation. Let's have a look at the C grade descriptor. A C grade outcome is likely to have these characteristics. Research outcome relates to the research topic but lacks complexity. Synthesis consists of a simple combining of information and/or knowledge drawn from the research into a research outcome. Substantiation consists of the acknowledgement of some key findings from the research and the validation of some findings with examples. Although the meaning is usually clear, ideas tend to be expressed informally, and not all sources are acknowledged. In order to pass a research project and be able to use it towards your SACE, you must get a minimum of a C-. So let's look at what a C- looks like. The research outcome or product relates to the research topic. Outcome may not be put together into an orderly, well-functional whole. Synthesis consists of the filtering of some knowledge, skills, or ideas drawn from the research. Depth and complexity are not evident. Some key findings are evident, but they're potentially underdeveloped. Substantiation for some, but not all of the findings, consists of the provision of personal reasons and generalizations rather than evidence or specific examples drawn from the research. So for those of you aiming higher, here's some examples of what not to do. You should not be using personal reasons to back up your arguments, and you should not be making any sort of generalizations. Information and ideas can be understood without too much deciphering. Attempt some form of acknowledgement of some sources. So that's the minimum, bare minimum that you need to do to pass. If you're just going for Research Project A and you're just looking to pass, you should be aiming for between a C and a B to be safe. Okay. I'm going to leave that recording there, and the next recording is going to detail how you actually put your outcome together.